Hello, humans. Welcome back to the Slackline Quote of the Day broadcast. You are here with the boss.
The boss is coming! That's a made-up dumb fairy tale name, you
And we are chatting quotes. Any sort of quote that I dig up that connects with how I'm feeling that day. We throw it out there for you guys, and you guys can listen to me chat about it for a little bit if you want. We've been doing some contemporary stuff lately with some actual news things. Today I was feeling pretty bitter, and so I dug into a quote that displays my bitterness, towards something that's not related to politics or anything like that. And with that, we will get to our quote. But first, who is bringing us our quote today there, Greg? Our sponsor today is Douche in a Bag. Each bag filled with 50 pellets guaranteed to give any nice person a day of complete disregard for other people's feelings. That is Douche in a Bag. That is their all-male line, Douche in a Bag. And I think they are coming out with their bitch bag very, very soon, which will be a specially formulated pill for women to give themselves their bitch day, where they can be completely inconsiderate of other people's feelings. And that brings us into our quote today. Quote from actor Kirk Douglas, the late Kirk Douglas: "Virtue is not photogenic. What is it to be a nice guy? To be nothing. That's what. A big fat zero with a smile for everybody." That is Kirk Douglas, an actor, Spartacus himself. And yeah, I was digging into this type of topic today, into the nice guy topic. I was having a conversation with a friend from back home who we were just chatting about dating life and that type of thing, and got onto the topics of the types of people that we like to date, or that she likes to date, and but it's common to hear from a modern woman, a modern independent woman, which is great. That she's not looking for anything serious, and that she's just looking to live her life without any sort of attachments and commitments and that type of thing, and I'm all for that. But an issue for me is that it seems to imply, or she seems to imply, most women seem to imply, in my experience, that when they are not looking for something serious, when they are just being their independent selves, they tend to fall under the assumption that the only guys that they should be, or the only people that they should be getting with during that time, satisfying themselves with during that time, are people that are dissociated from them, or douchebags or assholes, or whatever word you want to use for somebody who, again, doesn't have regard for other people. Somebody that they find attractive, that they can just jump on and leave and feel nothing about it, because they don't really even like that person. Like, I don't really know where that mindset goes. And sadly, guys that are nice and treat women with respect, or treat people with respect, people that treat others with respect, get kind of assumed to be this thing that is just like only for marrying, or only for long-term relationships, or something like that. Like, people that are genuinely nice and thoughtful can't also carry on casual sexual relationships. Those things don't correlate. There seems to be this weird thought that if somebody's nice to you, it means that in the context of like romance and sex, that if somebody's nice to you, it means that they want to have a long and happy life with you, and that's not necessarily the case. Like, nice guys that are nice people that are genuine, are generally considerate of others, still like to have sex, and might even be good at it, and maybe there's a little bit of maybe there's something to somebody that maybe cares more for what you want than what they want in the bedroom. Do these people think about stuff like that? I don't know. There's this weird illusion that somebody who's a jerk will be great in the sack. I don't really get where that comes from. I honestly don't. I've never heard anything from any of the friends that I have that are women that would lead me to believe that a bad boy or whatever is better than a nice guy in bed or anything like that. And I don't really get why our world is built around, like this quote suggests, that being a nice guy is to be a big fat zero with a smile for everybody. Like, what does that mean? So to be nice to people, to be kind to people, to their face, to me just means to be honest to people. That doesn't mean that everything you say is nice. But I think that the kindest thing you can do is be honest with people about everything, about how you feel about them, how they make you feel, like whatever. And again, not just romantically or sexually or anything, like in all kind of aspects of life, like keep the air clear. And maybe that's not a nice guy. Maybe that's not a nice trait. I don't know. Like because I think about this and I think about the quote, virtue is not photogenic. I would argue that honesty is obviously a virtuous quality. And I can see, I guess, how people can find honesty to be abrasive or blunt. I've honestly been in every stage of this, I think. I remember in high school, I was a chunkier kid. I was the guy that was friends with every girl. But none of the girls wanted to date me. Like, I was that guy. And, that type of mentality stuck with me for quite a while. And into my early 20s, I ended up, putting some effort into making myself look and feel better, and went on a college type rampage, for lack of a better term, of a lot of women. And some of those women have told me, since then, that I wasn't exactly nice to them. Not like in any like real bad way, but just as a douchebag is, a little bit disrespectful or dishonest, or or just aloof and not interested in other people's feelings. And whenever somebody brought that up with me, especially if it was kind of in that moment, I would challenge them on it. And I mean, the answers I got didn't surprise me, but they also, reveal some things, I guess. Remember a girl from high school who, we weren't together in high school. We met up again in college, and we hooked up a few times, and she's lying in bed next to me, and she goes, what happened to that old person that, you used to be so nice and friendly and whatnot in school, and now you're kind of cold and standoffish, and I said, well, would you have slept with that guy? And she kind of laughs and goes, no, and giggles about it or whatever. But like, that really makes me angry, that assertion, because like, that person wasn't really different. I basically just said less. That's all. I just kept my thoughts to myself and didn't speak my mind about anything that was really of consequence, to keep people at a distance, keep people from knowing your personality. And then I ended up with a long-term girlfriend, who again told me, like, during our relationship, she told me, like, we wouldn't have ended up dating if I was, this nice person that I was while we were dating when we first met, because she thought she wasn't interested in dating anybody or anything like that, and just met me and liked me, and we started hanging out, and things grew from there. And that's how relationships start all the time. But I've found since that relationship ended, and now into today, I've found in this like post Twitter era, man, like it's just like trying to date in it is a fucking nightmare. I mean, I was in a relationship when Twitter came out, or when I was in a relationship when Tinder became a thing. So it wasn't really part of my dating life until long after it had been established with everybody else. And this whole phenomenon of ghosting people and, you know, connecting with people and then just letting them fall away, like, you know, it's kind of a new thing, and it's a weird thing to deal with. And most of the time it's fine, because most of the time you don't really connect with those types of people anyways. But when you do genuinely connect with somebody, it becomes difficult to swallow a ghost, you know, because you want to know why, and like, honestly, you deserve to know why, you know. It's fucking cowardly and it's bullshit. It happens because as soon as somebody actually feels something, as soon as people actually go like, oh wait, we like each other, people get so like freaked out by it, and like and are just out of there. And maybe it's the age group that I'm in, but I don't think so. Like, I mean, I'm in my late 20s. I've been dating people that are from their early 20s to like early 30s, and it's all the same. It's all the same. It's all just like zero regard for other people's feelings. You know, and I think it starts with like the lack of a phone call, the lack of actual one-on-one communication. Like 90% of communication with these people is done through text, and I mean, it can be nice. You can think through what you want to say and that type of thing, but it takes out the spontaneity of the personality of people, and actually like knowing who these people are and being able to look into somebody's face and read what they're saying and actually hear their tone and that type of stuff. Like, these are important parts of our communication that are just getting lost. And as a quote unquote nice guy, however you want to define that, you know, somebody that will, you know, enjoys meeting somebody a few times before going down a physical road, somebody that you know, wants to discuss things with you instead of just Netflix and chilling all the time. Like, I guess those are downsides. At a certain point, it seems to be like, it sounds like people will probably roll their eyes at that, but it does seem to be at a certain point people get disinterested by something that might be complicated, that might end up complicated, even if there's the only indication of that is that there's a connection between the two people. And I think that freaks a lot of people out, and I honestly think it freaks a lot of women out that want to be independent, and they want to, you know, buck this norm of being with a man and that type of thing. You know, as relationships traditionally were, and I get that, like, I totally do. But that doesn't mean that people who are nice to you are out, like I said, to marry you or to tie you down or to own you or anything like that. It's just genuine niceness. Like, I don't really know what to say about it other than just like, yeah, I don't want to be a dickhead to people. But now I'm sitting here and I'm filled with like a fucking rage, because like, all I really ask for from these types of things is just honesty. Like, it's not that hard to say, not really feeling it, sorry. Or yeah, maybe we should only see each other, you know, every couple weeks or something like that. Or like, hey, you know, I don't really like texting that much. Or like, you know, these types of things, you know, it's like, all of those things would be fine. And I've felt like in my day that I've been very open about that type of stuff, of just being like, yeah, I'm pretty open with whatever kind of type of relationship life is going to throw at me. Just as long as people are honest with each other, then there shouldn't be problems. And people always seem to like agree with that, and then just not. And then it becomes, the Wild West again, because, oh, you got a Tinder match, or, oh, that, that 1 out of 20 dudes that are on your list is calling you. Like, there seems to be a lack of, a real lack of appetite for giving one person a try for a little while, and then give them a little while, get to know somebody to decide whether or not you want to be with them. Like, I talked to my friend on the phone. She was telling me how, she's just not sure. She just doesn't know if she likes them or not. And I was like, well, do you think that maybe if you spent more time with that person one-on-one and stopped avoiding them, that you might be able to answer that question? She's like, well, yeah, I guess so. And I'm like, well, yeah, like, it's not rocket science here. People just want communication. Both people just want communication. Every time I talk to somebody about this type of stuff, everybody agrees. Everybody is, oh, yeah, these are problems. And yeah, ghosting is bullshit. And yeah, it is rude and inconsiderate and hurtful. But everybody still does it. I've done it too. I don't do it anymore because it's bullshit. I've found it to be bullshit. I did it for a while when I first started trying to work with Tinder, and I don't even have that anymore because, it's just another thing in the back of your mind. It's just another distraction for your penis, basically, I guess, and thus a distraction for your brain. Yeah, it's inorganic. I don't like the way that it feels to meet somebody that way. I don't know. It's my own thing, but it's kind of beside the point. I mean, my real point is that it's not just our romantic situation, our life, our world is built on rudeness. It's built on aggressiveness and manipulation and climbing over people and spitting in other people's faces. And like, that's how you get anywhere in life. And a lot of these quotes are kind of like that. Well, this one is like that. There was another one from Muhammad Ali. It says, I'm at home, I'm a nice guy, but I don't want the world to know. Humble people I've found don't get very far. And I just, I have to wonder why that is. Because I hate hanging out with people that are abrasive and full of themselves and however else you want to define those types of people. So I don't know who likes hanging out with those people, but it's funny when I was going through all these nice guy quotes, how many of them are polarizing, of course, but it's pretty much just like, if you want a nice guy, lady, stop treating guys like shit. Or nice guys are just, guys that are attracted to you, that are too shy or too much of a wimp to say anything about it. And yeah, these are not, they're all true things. I do find myself getting into that position when, I'm too shy to say something, or, fear of rejection and all that type of stuff, and fear of inevitable situations like what I'm describing of liking somebody and having it just, jerked away from you, or having it just like disappear like that. Those are things that contribute to an anxiety about approaching a person that may or may not find you attractive. And on the other side, I do think that there's some truth to women sort of perpetuating douchebags in a way of, well, I said this to my friend. I said, you ladies realize you're creating douchebags this way, right? And she says, you keep saying that. And I say, you keep meeting douchebags. And she laughs. And I mean, but like, what incentive is there to give off any sort of hint that you might be interested in anything other than sex? Because giving off that hint removes the possibility of sex. As soon as a girl picks up on the idea that you might actually like them, like, it seems like your chances of sex are fucking out the window. And so that feeling of, not being interested in anything other than sex, it has to become real. And we have to make ourselves like dead to emotion, or we'll just end up getting brutalized. And thus you end up with a bunch of douchebags, a bunch of people running around, hiding their feelings. And because most people that, you would consider a douchebag or a guy would consider a bitch or something like that, like, most of those people, they think they're being nice people. I'm sure, like I've said, I've been a douchebag before, even when I was thinking I was being nice. They think they're doing the right thing, or they think they're being kind by leading people on or by stringing people along as they figure out what the fuck they want to do with themselves. But they're not. It's not kind. It's mean and it's hurtful. So yeah, I don't know. It's a touchy subject for me, and I mean, even on this show where, I'm pretty sure only Jerry and Emily are listening, and out of the two of them, I think Jerry's the only one that really even knows what I'm talking about as far as my actual personal experience goes. But I'm still like holding back on some of it for some reason. Anyways, I think that's where we'll cut it off for today. That is a quote from Kirk Douglas. Virtue is not photogenic. What is it to be a nice guy? To be nothing. That's what. A big fat zero with a smile for everybody. That quote again, Kirk Douglas, the late Kirk Douglas, an actor, Spartacus. And that quote again brought to us by Douche in a Bag. If you are a nice person and want to spend a day feeling like a douchebag, just take one of the 50 pills that comes in every douche in a bag. And bitch bags are soon to be released. Thanks again to Crooked Spies for providing their music again today. Please make sure to follow the Slackline on Instagram at the.slack.line, on Twitter at slackline_radio, and on YouTube and iTunes at the Slackline Podcast. You have been listening to The Boss.
The boss is coming! That's a made-up dumb fairy tale name, you.
Thanks to anybody paying attention. Hope to talk to you tomorrow, and see you again soon.
Long road.